Yeah, some of you were wondering what I meant by punching the ground, and I was going to show you right over here. So, you're not filming yet, are you? I bought this a couple years ago. Should have bought it a long time ago. And I can show you the other thing that I use too, but I'm starting to lean away from that thing. But the brand of this thing, it's a 12-foot wide, or whatever. It says 12, but it's Industrious America, whatever that means. And the reason I bought this one is because it was $5,800 out the door, and and compared to the the Airway, which I know is probably a really nice piece of equipment, but they wanted $12,500 for the 12-footer. It was $1,000 a foot. Every foot you go up, it's $1,000. And I looked at this compared to it. It's steel thickness, everything. It looked good to me. I've used it 2 years, not one problem. So anyway, the steel thickness is all good. It's good 1/2 inch thick steel. If not, that might be a little more than half, I think, or whatever. But it's good. The spikes are compatible or switchable with the Airway spikes. If you want to use Airway spikes, or these wear out and you want to change spikes, Airways fit inside this thing, which was a plus. But I mean, you know, really for what did I say? $5,800 compared to $12,500. That's over $6,000. What was it? $6,700 cheaper. I mean, I can buy another pump for that. I mean, there's a lot of things I could buy with $6,700 that I need around the farm. So it didn't make sense. Sorry, Airway. The only disadvantage for me, for somebody with softer ground, this is enough weight. For me, this isn't enough weight. I'd like the bigger blocks of the Airway, but honestly, what I've just started doing is watering my stuff first and then going and punching it. It sinks, it buries it, 8-inch or as deep as those spikes will go. So like I said, it's not a problem, man. You just you just adapt it to your situation, and it works great for me. It makes a huge difference. I know people say, that they've done it and they don't see a difference, but it's not just a one-time deal. It's an it accumulates over time. It starts, it takes a while, maybe a year, 2 years, and it starts softening. And the only reason I say that is because I've used this other piece of equipment for the last 4 or 5 years. I don't remember how long I've had that thing. It's been a while, but and then I started using this because it was faster, and I'll explain another reason why I use this. But it's built well. It's not going to break on you. So, sorry, Airway, but I think this is made. It's not Chinese. That's all I know. So it was fine with me. If it was Chinese, I wouldn't buy it, but who even knows what's Chinese anymore? So let's go look at the other piece of equipment that I use. So this is a Hay King, and this is what I call a ripper. This actually rips grooves in the field. And the reason I've got some of the things pulled off is because my tractors won't pull that. I bought the 10 shank, and I pulled 10 shanks, and what would happen is my wheels would start spinning. My ground is hard. Y'all don't even understand how hard.
Explain, what kind of ground do you have?
I have black soil, and it's just
black clay.
And it's not even class. I wouldn't even classify this clay. I don't know what it is. What you'd class? It's nasty though. I hate it. I want to move to. I want to,
Eventually.
Yeah, soon. Hopefully, I can move to another ranch and start over. I want some sand. Sand is where you make money. This ground here is just, it's horrible, and it's a headache. It's anyway. So and then I took it down to 6 shanks. It went down to 8, and then I finally took it down to 6, and I still have trouble pulling 6 shanks through there. What this does is this coulter rips the grass as it goes down. It rips a groove. It cuts a groove, and then behind there, it's got the ripper shanks that actually break the soil up and lift it. It actually lifts it a little bit. It does a really good job. I probably won't use this thing anymore, just because I'm trying to stop my ryegrass, and I'll explain that when we get on the tractor here, and I'm gonna do some tethering. But this is the Hay King, and this is a ripper. That's a puncher. That's how I refer to them. And the other one just punches holes. And actually, as it goes in, it does a slight twist, so it kind of, especially when the soil's a little moist, it kind of lifts it up a little bit, and does a good job. So on to the tedder. Well, I was going to talk to you a little while I'm tethering, running the tedder back here. Tethering, I don't know what, but there's not a lot of grass here.
The correct terminology is tedding.
Tedding, okay. Learned something new today. And I was just going to tell you, well, I mean, the difference between the reason I don't use the Hay King, or I'm planning on not using it anymore, is because my first cutting, I tried to stop ryegrass. Well, I've seen when I use that ripper, and I do it in April, because it does it disturbs the ground quite a little bit, and I've seen ryegrass come up in the grooves of that ripper. In other words, it breaks the barrier that I lay down with my pre-emerge, and so I'm leaning on not using that anymore. So just using the punch, I think, is the way to go for me. Plus it's faster. I mean, that other thing, oh my god, that Hay King in my ground, I literally, I mean, you're moving like 1 mile, 2 miles an hour max, even with 6 shanks on it, and going over 155 acres with 6 shanks, which is about 7 or 8 feet, at 2 miles an hour. I mean, it literally takes you a week or longer to do it, and it just once I got the punch and I started punching it, and I've punched it every time before each cutting. It does the same thing, and I think it actually does it a little better. But just my thoughts on that. I know people wanted to know about that. People with sand who could pull 10 shanks, you could pull it at 7, 8 miles an hour, or 6, 7 miles an hour. And you're trying to, and you're not worried about ryegrass or whatever, or crabgrass. I mean, that thing opens the ground up in those spots, and you'll get crabgrass coming up in those spots too, which is, I mean, you don't want crabgrass in your hay. I mean, it actually is good feed for a horse, but people don't want to buy it, or it's not as desirable. Let's put it that way. As far as so that's another reason I'm leaning more towards the punch. Each year, well, the last 2 years I've had the punch, I've ripped less and less ground, and it seems to not be an issue as far as the uptake of water. I still get a better uptake of water punching it every time as compared to ripping it once a year. So probably said everything I need to say about that. You know, the hay king's pretty cheap. You know, if you're just making cow hay, or you're wanting to make quantity, and you know, and you're not trying to keep it super clean, the hay king to me is a really good thing to have. As a matter of fact, both of them, punching and running the hay king in April. If I was trying to grow ryegrass, where you know, like a lot of cow farmers do, or even just a lot of hay growers, like a cool season grass, I'd rip that thing and I'd punch it. And at least on my ground, like I said, everybody's ground's different. I mean, the guy across the road's probably got different ground than I do, so he may want to do his different. It's all about your ground and learning, you know, what works best on your soil. And just because I have black soil, a guy 30 miles away from me may have black soil, but it's not going to be the same soil as what I have. It's not going to have the same pH level. It's not going to have the same, you know, it's just not going to have the same uptake of nutrient or anything. So everything's going to be different. So it just takes time to learn your ground and what works. I mean, I've been doing this 15 years and I still don't know what the heck I'm doing as far as, of course, I don't know. If there's some I wish there was, if anybody knows a way to test your own soil, that would be awesome, where I could keep a more of an accurate changing. It's just a pain to send it off all the time, and they charge you to do that, and it just, I don't know. You know, just tack more stuff on top of what I gotta do. Why don't I? And it just, I mean, I have soil tests done every year, and we'll go over that when I usually do that in November. Why November? I have no clue. Something about the salt in the ground or something. I think you get a better pH reading or something like that. I'm not exactly sure.
Did you get this information from the guy at the fertilizer place?
Yeah. I mean, the guy at the fertilizer place.
You might want to research that one on your own a little bit.
I think November is the time to do that. But it's see, I'm so ADD. I got started filling my tractor up this morning, and it was empty, so it's a 65-gallon tank, so I knew it'd take a little bit. And within a matter of 30 seconds, I got sidetracked. I went over there and started blowing my cutter off so I could unhook it. And next thing you know, I look over at my tractor and diesel's pouring out of the top. I probably dumped.
I don't even.
I'm hoping that it was only about 20 gallons of diesel on the ground. That's what I'm hoping it was all. I made a little river of diesel. So another mistake that I made. Yeah, whatever. That's why you do it, you know, I mean, like I said, you know, that's a mistake that could probably be avoided by just maybe slowing down and paying more attention, but I'm 50 years old and that's just not going to happen. I'm not going to slow down and I'm not going to pay attention. Those years have long gone by me.
You mean corrective behaviors?
Yeah, corrective behaviors are out of the question. This late in life.
I've tried.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen.
I've really tried.
I mean, it's like trying to get your wives to stop shopping.
Oh, quit, please.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, because I'm such a big shopper.
I'm in grocery shopping.
I did that to feed you.
She makes a heck of a sandwich, fellas. I'll tell you that.
You don't know how lucky you got.
For all you ladies out there, make your man a good sandwich. Treat him like a king.
Okay, now you're gonna have some haters.
What? Oh, haters? Nah. It's 50-50. Or 60-40 her. More likely. So, I don't know, that's all I gotta say. Sorry about the slightly boring video, but I know some people want to know about the punch part compared to the ripping part, and why I do which one I do, and you know. See, that was my ADD kick again.
And with that, we're signing off. Oh look, a butterfly.
Okay, we're definitely leaving now. See y'all later. Have a good rest of the weekend.